Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so we get started. Hello everyone, Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Gita's study session. We are in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is titled Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. So, just a context to this chapter. In Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters. First 6 chapters, Krishna spoke about Karma Yoga, the way to live in this world, and how to work in this world. What should be our mindset while working? So one can see work to be a joy, happily work. So that big set Krishna covered in first 6 chapters. Middle 6 chapters, Krishna spoke about Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti, love, or devotion towards the Lord as a means, as a vehicle, as a means to attain the God. Bhakti as a means to attain the God. Krishna spoke in middle 6 chapters. And last 6 chapters, Krishna reiterates all the topics which he had covered before in previous chapters. Krishna goes and explains in detail. So 13th chapter about the soul, the how soul is different from the body, and the how soul how the soul gets bounded into this material nature. Soul getting a body and going to this repeated cycle of birth and death. So what is the cause? Okay, the cause is gunatraya, guna. Karna guna sangasya sadasad yonishu janmasu. Sometimes the soul with a body getting a good birth, all the facilities very nicely. So many facilities very nicely, right? And sometimes soul getting a bad birth, like not so good body, right? What is the cause? Karna guna sangasya. These gunas, which are three in nature, they are satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. Mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. So these gunas are three in nature. These are the ones which cause bondage for the soul into this material world. Okay, this chapter is quite philosophical, um, but we'll break it down and understand easily. Okay, so when we gain this knowledge, when they gain the knowledge about this 14th chapter, Krishna himself says, okay, so Krishna himself says, such a person will attain liberation guaranteed. Such a powerful chapter. It's very practical, very pertinent. We can see within ourselves, we can see others also. Like this chapter is like a mirror to us. Mirror, when we look at the mirror, we see ourselves, right? So when we see through the lens of this 14th chapter, when we wear the glasses of 14th chapter, we can see ourselves where we stand, what are the which mode I am in. And we can, when we see our people, our children, our family members, our relatives, friends, you we can see clearly what kind of modes they are in. Okay, it's not like to judge someone like, hey, you are in mode of passion, you are in mode of ignorance, or you're a tamasic person. No, but we'll get an idea what's happening. People deal with various emotions, right? Many people have various emotions. So what is the cause of that emotion? If a person is really seriously angry, if a person is really fearful, right? Fear, anger, envy, all these negative emotions, what is the cause? What is behind this emotion? There is something else. That is guna. Very important thing. That is guna. These three gunas are the one which are driving these emotions and a soul. Okay. So that's why this chapter is like a lens, which gives us a lens to see ourselves and see others and everybody. So we covered this topic, the topic number one, how the modes bind the soul. The modes are three in nature, and modes that bind the soul. So these modes are something which we don't see with our eyes, right? I can see this laptop, I can see things around me with my eyes, but modes are something which we don't see. Just like a disease. If a person has a disease, we may not see with our own eyes, but we can see the symptoms. The disease can be seen with the symptoms, right? So same thing, Krishna talks about the symptoms. Symptoms of a person who is in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Satoguna, Rajaguna, Tamoguna. So the symptoms, what are the symptoms? How those symptoms bind the soul? We covered in previous session. Okay. But when the symptoms increase, so this is where we see, and if you miss this first topic, we learn here also. When the symptoms increases, right? If a person has a disease, like a blood pressure, right? So I don't know if that is a disease, but some disease, corona, right? So coronavirus, COVID disease. At the beginning stages, there are some symptoms. When the disease that increases, when the disease increases, when this go high, what are the symptoms when when this go high? Hmm? Then how to recognize those symptoms, right? Those can be seen. So that's what Krishna says in the second topic, recognizing modes supremacy. There are three in nature, but these modes overpower each other. So we covered this topic, and we'll see these verses, these three verses. We read it in previous session. We'll go in little detail now. Okay, so when sattva guna increases, when rajoguna increases, when tamoguna increases, how to identify within ourselves, within people around us, anything, right? So, let's see that. So we'll start with the sattva guna. When
La.
increases, let me mute. Okay, when satoguna increases, satoguna is mode of goodness, mode of goodness. When satoguna increases, Krishna says this can be seen, the symptoms can be seen in a person who is fully functional. His senses are fully functional. He's able to gain knowledge clearly. Okay, sarvadhareshu dehi asmin prakashopajayate. He's able to see the things clearly. He's able to hear and understand, perceive, understand clearly. Right? A smell, sense of touch, with all the senses are fully functional. He's able to understand it clearly, gaining knowledge clearly. Then we can see his satoguna levels are high. Mode of goodness levels are high. We looked at some example. This we did in our previous session, and we looked at this example. Sometimes we read a email. Okay, okay. And we read an email, but there are different ways to understand the email. Sometimes we read the email, we quickly understand, and we gain the knowledge, we can understand it clearly. Sometimes, like in a undisturbed state of mind, if you're reading the email, right, we react to it immediately. Huh? What is that? We don't clearly understand, but we are reacting to it immediately. It could be email, or it could be WhatsApp message, or any message, right? So, look at our processing through senses, how we are gaining knowledge through senses. We are reacting to it immediately. That's because of mode of rajoguna, passion, right? And we are totally misunderstanding. We are reading the same message, email or WhatsApp. We are totally misunderstanding, and we are reacting to it and shouting at that person, or replying a bad message to that guy. Like, we are not clearly understanding the message clearly. So these are the examples. We can say, like, yeah, the message is same, but our understanding is different. That varies according to the mode we are in, right? So that's the thing. When you're in the mode of goodness, we can understand everything with the undisturbed state of mind. So that is a mode of goodness. Like, we are not distracted. Our consciousness is pure. Our mindset is pure. We are not distracted by any other thoughts, right? Clear perception, clear, 100% perfect, right? So when we are hearing something, hearing a lecture, or hearing our kids talking, or our spouse, they're talking to us, if you are able to understand it clearly, that means Krishna is saying, yes, we are in the high mode of goodness. If you are hearing something and totally misunderstanding, and we sometimes we interrupt people also. If someone is talking to me, if I'm keep on interrupting it, why is that, why is that, why is that, that means I'm not listening correctly. I'm putting my own thoughts, I'm not listening correctly, I'm in the rajas. That's because of mode of rajas, passion, right? So these are all very practical, this can be applied in our daily life, that sense. I was reading a book called Art of Listening. Art of listening. Listening is a very important skill. Like, before we say something, we need to understand where is that person coming from, right? So our mode of passion says, like, okay, go and interrupt, or say something before they complete their words, we go and interrupt them. This happens to us all the time, right? That's the way when we are in the mode of goodness, our perception is clear, our mindset is clear, we are undisturbed by ego or undisturbed by any emotions going on. We are fully cognizant of what's coming in, right? So that's because of mode of goodness. When we are in a mode of passion, right, we try to interrupt the person. In a mode of ignorance, we try to, yeah, totally misunderstand and harm the other people. So these are the things, right? So we looked at, yes, everybody wants to be in the undisturbed state of mind and clear perception, and we all want to look at, understand clearly. We want to hear and understand properly, right? So we all want to be in the mode of goodness. So how to cultivate that? So this is the rest of the chapters. Krishna talks about this. It's a very important thing. The first primary factor is food. Food. Food is a primary factor. So as I said, what is causing emotions? There are emotions like anger, jealous, envy, greed. We see in small kids also. 1 year old kid, or a 6 year old, 6 months old kid, 1 year old kid, or like adults also. Like it doesn't matter. Like we can see these emotions in all these all living beings, in irrespective of their age, right? So where is this coming from? It's coming from past life. What is the cause of those emotions? Yes, gunas. Okay, so these emotions, cause of these emotions, anger, jealous, envy, these are of gunas. Gunas. So what is the cause of gunas? The food. Krishna explains this in 17th chapter. But food is a primary thing. We are what we eat. Even doctors say that same thing. We are what we eat. Our consciousness, our mindset, our thought process, it's all, we are what we eat. It's all what we eat. Right? So the food we intake has to be pure. Has to be pure. Hmm. So in 17th chapter, Krishna explains it. We'll go in detail that time. I'll give examples of some types of foods, but you can see in this picture here. The food should be pure. The food should give health. When we eat the food, it should give happiness. It should be looking pleasant, wholesome, right? Not too spicy, not too sour, not too pungent, not too dry. And it should the food should not cause distress in our stomach or after eating it, right? So you know what? I'll give more examples in 17th chapter. Hmm. But yeah, so food makes our consciousness. Food makes our thought process, right? Even if a person want to practice meditation, yoga, meditation. So that's why in Ayurveda also it is recommended that a person should eat certain type of food. At a certain type of food, then his concentration levels will be good. Then he can meditate on it. He can meditate on, if a person wants to meditate, do meditation, dhyana. The biggest obstacle in dhyana is our mind. If we start fixing our mind, if you're in the mode of goodness, we can meditate. If you're in a mode of passion, so many thoughts will come. If you're in a mode of ignorance, sleep will come. Just by closing our eyes, we sleep by meditation. So meditation could be on ourself or nothing, or meditation on God also. If you're meditating on the Supreme Lord, right? Dhyana, if you're doing dhyana. So uh, it is also recommended for a practitioner in spirituality, practitioner in all good things, right? So food is a primary factor. One has to eat a pure food, sattvic food. If we eat a sattvic food, then our concentration levels will be good, our understanding will be good, our thought process will be good. Huh? If you are eating rajasic food, we become rajasic, right? So that's why in Chandogya Upanishad it is said like ahara shuddhyo sattva shuddhi, sattva shuddho dhruva smritihi. Smriti lambe Sarvagranthina Vipramokshaha. Dhruva Smriti, constant remembrance. If you are hearing something, gaining knowledge, if you're able to remember for a long time, that is it's not so possible in this age, right? We are in 2025, where our remembrance is very pure, not so good, very poor, very poor. Srimad Bhagavatam in 12th canto, it is said that as the age progresses, as we age, not our age, that this age of this universe, when it progresses, people start losing their lifespan will be reduced. Their lifespan will be reduced. Their memory levels will be reduced. Their understanding will be reduced. Memory levels will be reduced. So all those things we'll see. We are seeing this in 2025 itself. We are seeing this, like, people were very poor remembrance, and also with so many technology going on around us, our remembrance is very poor. But if a person wants good memory, good concentration levels, good understanding levels, everybody wants their kids to be really, really smart. Right? We want our kids to be really, really smart. Then we have to give the sattvic food. Give the sattvic food, then mind is pure, concentration levels are pure, the understanding is pure. Mm. And then our mind is pure, concentration is pure, then we can meditate on the God, and yeah, and we can, our emotions will be pure. Okay, so the first thing is the food. Food makes our consciousness. Okay, one has to eat a sadhvic food. Krishna explains in 17th chapter. We'll see just a glimpse of it now. And second thing is our habits, also living habits. It's like go-go principle, right? Go-go means good in, good out. If you're bringing in all the good, like if you're surrounded by good people around us, we are watching good things, surrounded by good people around us, then our thought process or our emotions will be good. Hmm. We see in this world, like, if a person is good, but if he go and talks to person B in office for 30 minutes, 1 hour, he becomes so passionate. He comes back, right, and he carries the same emotions. We see this in this world, right? Or he becomes so aggressive, or he becomes so fearful, right? Because people are carrying emotions, right? So that's the thing. So it's also important that what kind of content, what kind of data we bring into our consciousness. That's also very important, right? We need to shield ourselves with sattva guna. We need to shield ourselves with sattva guna. So certain things we can do ourselves, certain things we can do from our side, like eating good food, you know, surrounding with good people, and all doing good things, and certain things which we don't have any control, we leave it to God, right? So have a spiritual connection. Some practices like chanting the holy name of the Lord, getting up early and do some arati puja, all the spiritual activities, devotional services help us to remain in sattva. Okay, so we covered this sattva. Next we'll go to mode of passion. Okay, so Krishna is saying when the mode of passion increases, when the mode of passion increases, what are the symptoms? So we can see this in ourselves and others, not to judge them, but gain knowledge, right? It's like if my symptoms of coronavirus are increasing, I need to know that, so that I'll find a cure for my virus or disease going on in me. Right? So some same thing. We should look at these things in the same perspective, that when my rajas levels are increasing, what are the symptoms? When I know my rajas levels are increasing, I can do something to reduce these rajas levels. By the way, this rajas is not bad. Okay, the mode of passion is not bad. It is good, required. When it increases, that is where the problem is. Okay, the first thing Krishna says, lobha. Okay, when a person in a person, the rajasic levels are high, right? Mode of passion is high, then the first thing we can say is like he becomes greedy, no satisfaction. He runs behind things. I want this, I want this, I want this. Whatever he sees, he wants to attain it, and after attaining it, he develops attachment towards it. This is mine. Right? So we see this in the small kids also. The small 3 months old, 6 months old, they may get attached to toys. They may get attached to they may and we don't want to say this, but this is a fact, right? Like, just for our understanding. It's not to criticize anything. That's how we function, like how the humans function in this world. We need to understand, right? So we see in the small kids. In my kid also, I was also like that, right? So we run behind toys. We are so much greedy towards, like, this is my toy. I'll not share with anyone. We'll develop attachment towards toy or things or desserts. If we eat one sweet, one candy, after our senses are triggered, we want more. Give me more. Give me more. And we are seeing this in small kids. We are seeing in everybody also. In case of small kids, it could be a candy. The attachment could be a candy, or attachment could be a toy. But as we grow, attachment could be like a gold. Attachment could be a properties or many things. It varies, but the same. The so-called greed, so-called attachment, and these things are there. Mm. So when the mode of rajas are high, one would see like excessive greed to possess things and develops excessive attachment towards things. Right? This is the first symptom. Second symptom is he becomes restless. Pravritti, he becomes restless. Huh? He does all the things to possess it. Right? Just like kids running behind, like, give me, buy me more, buy me more. Or we become, as we grow, right? We also, we become, when we are too much greedy, and as we are possessing things, we want more and more and no satisfaction. And we do all kinds of actions. Talking to people or doing some things, various actions, and all restless actions in the pursuit of possessions. So uh, one become too busy. Hmm. And karma arambaha, busy beginning new works for inferior results. Right? All the things is so much engaged in many activities throughout the day. From day in and day out, we can see like morning 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. throughout our day. We can see in ourselves also, like, are we seeing this in within us? Are we seeing in others? Mm. And I'm always busy beginning new things. Like, okay, I'll start this project, I'll do this, I'll do that. There is nothing wrong, okay? There is nothing wrong, but continuous remembrance happens, right? So, and we forgetful of our the very important thing, that is like the purpose of human life. The purpose of human life is the possessions, running behind possessions. We have been doing this for many lifetimes. Yes, many lifetimes we have been doing, and we are continuing to doing that again and again, right? So there is a time like when the mode of passion increases, we can see these symptoms. We become restless in pursuit of things. I think that's where we need to understand, like, where my thoughts are going. Okay, I need to I need to at least lower it, put a check to it, and let me reflect on myself. Let me reflect on myself. Mhm. Let me take some time to understand Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or do something where I'm not mad behind this. Okay, so again, this is all not good. Okay, this is a very natural symptom. Everybody is very natural. But these are not so conducive to spirituality. If a person is working in liberation, and if a person is too busy in many activities, then where is the time to focus on himself? Where is the time to focus on meditating on the God, doing some spiritual activities? If you're too busy with many material pursuits. Mm. So that's the thing. So when the mode of passion increases, one becomes greedy and runs behind things and does many activities, like multitasking activities, many things. So yeah. And the fourth symptom, Krishna says, he's unable to control his senses. And he never gives up sense gratification. Unable to control senses and give up sense gratification. Yeah? And what are the sense gratification? We gratify our senses through eyes, through sense of vision. Sense of vision pulls us to see nice things on TV or others, on people or anything. Right? Sense of taste. This is a big thing. The sense, of so-called sense of taste, pulls us towards tasting delicious, many delicacies. It's a natural emotion, but that drives us crazy, right? So drives us crazy, makes us mad. So the mode of passion increases, and then we see like one senses become uncontrollable. One senses become uncontrollable. He runs behind things. Everybody does it. We all. That's why we are on this material planet, so-called Dukkale Shashwata, this earthly planet, because everybody is like that. We're all like that. So that's how we function, right? But when the senses go wild, when a sense of taste pulling us to taste something. We may start with tasting one sweet, but we are pulled to taste 10 sweets. This is because of passion. When the passion levels are high. Okay. So our sense of vision, we want to watch something for 5 minutes, but we are carried away to watch for like hours long. Right? The sense of vision is pulling us. right? So when the mode of passion increases, these are the symptoms. These are the symptoms. Okay, but it is very natural. Everybody goes through, but we need to keep an eye on this one. Put a check when this happens, right? And spurha, like control, longing or cravings for sense enjoyments, like cravings. I want this. Let me enjoy this. I wish I had this. I tasted this already. Touched this already. I want to do that again and again. So those kind of thoughts will come. So these drive us mad, right? So yeah. So these are the symptoms Krishna gives. One becomes greedy when the mode of passion increases. When the mode of passion increases, one becomes greedy, no satisfaction at all in anything. He runs behind. He becomes restless in material pursuits, and always willing, looking to do various multitasking things, and unable to control his senses, and he develops cravings for sense enjoyments. Right? This. If you go to the medicine world, and if a person has a COVID disease, if a person has a blood pressure disease or diabetic disease, or a cancer disease, or many other diseases, right? So in science, in medicine also, there are symptoms listed. One, two, three, four, five. These are the symptoms when these diseases happens. So same thing what Krishna is saying. We should see some from the same perspective, like what Krishna is saying here, right? When the passion increases, these are the symptoms. Mm. By our emotions, we go mad. We go mad by our emotions. Okay, so we all know what is this rajoguna, how this rajoguna, the symptoms of rajoguna when it goes high, and definitely this is natural, but this is not so conducive for spiritual practices, right? If a person is interested in spirituality or self-realization, these are not good. It's important to work on this in ourselves. It's a lens. We see ourselves, okay, my rajas levels are going high. I need to do something now. So the first thing what we can do is again food. Food. Okay, everything comes back to food. If you're eating rajasic food, it makes us rajasic. Our thought process, our mindset makes us rajasic. Like greed increases, anger increases, lust increases, right? uh, so what are the rajasic food? You can see here listed. Krishna, the food which is so bitter food, and so too sour to eat, too sour, too salty, too spicy masalas and everything, right? So, and too pungent, too dry, burning, and after we eat, it's causing distress to our tummy. It is tasting good, but it is causing distress to our stomach, right? And it's causing disease. Yes, and yeah, these are the symptoms. If you ask me food names, we'll do in 17th chapter. Okay, so, but we know, right? So what are the foods which fall into these categories, right? So should we totally stop eating these? No, we don't have to stop eating rajasic food, but intake should be lessened. It depends. It varies on individual. Some people are really sattvic from it coming from previous lifetimes. Okay, many lifetimes we have eaten wide varieties of foods. Okay, and we have built our consciousness in a wide varieties of ways. So it varies. Every individual's mindset consciousness varies. So it's a thing to see ourselves and work on it. If you go to a Ayurvedic doctor who practices Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is also part of Vedic lifestyle, Vedic science. So that also talks about what are the foods one can eat to reduce these rajasic levels, right? Tamasic levels. If a person is going to different various emotions, right? So there are foods are recommended to be eaten, right? Um, and even if Ayurveda also, there is something like Vata, Kapha, Pitta, if you know this terminology. So Vata, Kapha, Pitta, right? So when there's an imbalance in any of these, we'll get diseases, problems in our body, right? That's because of the food we eat. Food we eat. So it's very important. If you're not eating sattvic food, it's very important that we should eat sattvic food. Start eating sattvic food, take sattvic food, like healthy food, the food we usually eat in temples. Sometimes temple also they cook spicy food. That's a different thing. But uh, food has to be pure, clean, and uh, and yeah, and which gives satisfaction and health. So that's one thing. And second thing is our habits again. If you want to work on our rajasic levels or lust, greed, anger, many things, negative emotions, you want to work on that. We need to also work on the food thing. That's first thing. Second thing is our habits, our eating, our living habits. What kind of content we put in our mind. There is so much content on YouTube. There is so much content on news channels. There's so much content on WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere, right? So these are the content which makes our consciousness, right? So it's also important we if our Rajasic levels are going high, then at least we should lower, lessen those things and shield ourselves, right? It's also important. And again, the third one is spiritual connection. If you have a good spiritual connection, spiritual practices, some meditations, chanting the holy name, right? So this will again lower our Rajasic levels. Okay, so Rajas is needed. At the same time, it going high, we need to monitor it. Right? So it's like blood sugar levels, it's good, it is needed. Blood sugar levels are needed for our body, right? When it's going high, or then it's a problem. It's same thing, right? The Rajasic, Rajasic, we need to be Rajasic to function, right? This is needed, right? It's very natural, but it's going high, it's a problem. Okay, then we need to put a check to and start doing this, cultivating good food habits, living habits, what kind of content we put in our mindset conscious. These are all very important, and spiritual connection. So this we can up put it. Now that we learned, we can take it to the practice, do it to ourselves, and if we have kids, we could help them. We know when the kids are doing this, right? So we can help them like giving sattvic food and nurture them in a proper way. So this is God's science. It's a Vedic science or Krishna science. Okay, now we'll go to the third guna. Krishna is saying when the mode of ignorance increases, tamoguna increases, what happens? Krishna is too philosophical. But yeah, but we can understand this is time to learn. Okay, it is exactly opposite to mode of goodness. Okay, mode of ignorance, tamasic guna, is exactly opposite to mode of goodness. Mode of goodness, where our understanding is good. We are able to hear and understand clearly. We are able to look at it through the vision, sense of vision, we understand clearly. Right? So this is aprakasha. It's like in the mode of goodness, bulb is on. Bulb is on, there is a room is lit. Right? In the mode of ignorance, bulb is off, light is off, and we can't see things clearly. And that's exactly this aprakasha. That means his cognitive skills are very low, right? Yeah, science may say different things, but Krishna's science is saying here is his understanding levels are very low. Okay, it could be various factors from previous lifetime, many lifetimes, right? So we have been going through. So every individual is different, right? Yeah. So yeah. So the lack of knowledge or understanding is very poor. Exactly opposite. Right. And second thing is apravitha, right? So in the mode of goodness, or mode of goodness, his thought process is good, mind is stable. Mode of passion, his mind is so disturbed, right? And the mode of ignorance, aparamita, is totally opposite. Okay, he's lazy, lazy, huh? Lazy in everything. Can you do this? Can I go and do this? Yes, you're like, mm. First thing comes is, I don't want to do this. Let me do later. So procrastinating, it delays it, right? It's mode of tamas, tamas. Hmm? Not is it not so enthusiastic to do anything. Is not enthusiastic to study, is not enthusiastic to play games, is not enthusiastic to play with other friends, right? Or is not enthusiastic to go to office and earn money, right? Is like always sleepy, lazy, tired, huh? And he totally, this is one symptom. Other symptom is he totally misunderstands scriptures, and he does all kinds of illicit things, bad things, right? So these are the symptoms in the mode of ignorance when the tamas increases. Tamas increases. And pramada also means like madness. Misunderstanding comes. If a person says something, If we see in this world, like we tell to our kids, like, hey, you should not be doing this. Like sometimes kids go mad, like shout at us. So, we are telling for their benefit, but they're misunderstanding, right? So not to pick on anything, anyone, they're all good, all kids are good. Like this is how we function, like how soul functions. That's the thing we need to see, how a soul functions in the human body, right? That's the thing. And people are misunderstanding. If you say something for their benefit, they're totally misunderstanding, right? That is one symptom. Because of tamas, high levels of tamas, and lack of attention, right? Attention deficit, right? So they're sitting and listening, but nothing going inside. Like they're closing their eyes, and uh, it's very natural again. But again, we see. Yeah, we see in people and everybody, right? So lack of attention. Right? In meetings also we see in our office work, like we a group of people talk, and one person is like, he's there, he's sitting, but where is he? Which world is he? So it's because of tamas levels. Because of tamas, the mode of tamas, the levels are high, mode of ignorance levels high. Then these are the symptoms. Krishna is saying. Then we need to watch out. We need to watch out. If these are happening to us, we're not productive, right? When we are in office culture, we are not so. We want to be productive, right? We are earning money. We have to be productive. We have to do good. That's our dharma. Even for us to do our dharma very nicely, it's very important that we don't want to be tamas. We don't want to be tamas. We want to be sharp, attentive, clear, 100% focused, right? That's because of mode of sattva. Mode of ignorance, all the madness, craziness, lack of attention, carelessness. Who cares? I don't care. You say whatever you want. I don't care. So these are the things will happen. It's God science, Vedic science. Yeah, and moha, confusion, delusion, right? So delusion, understanding things in a wrong way. So these are the symptoms. Aprakasha, apravita, pramada, moha. Right? I repeat again. Right? So not understanding things, and not so enthusiastic in doing anything, and is not even attentive, carelessness, madness, totally confused, hmm, and doing irrational things, right? So it's these are the mode of ignorance, tamas. Okay, when tamas goes high. Okay, now we'll see how can we lower tamas. We can see within ourselves, in our kids, children, family, all living beings, and animals also, and these tamas levels exist. Yes, in animals also, tamas levels exist. Again, what we can do? Again, three things. Food. Okay, we need to, if you're eating tamasic food, we should stop it. Reduce it or stop it. So what are the tamasic foods? Okay, we'll see this again here. So the food which is like cooked days days ago, 3 days, he Krishna is saying 3 hours, 17th chapter, Krishna says the food is cooked 3 hours before. If you are eating again, we have to heat it and eat. Okay, if we eat it and eat, it's okay. But if it is left it out, leftovers, right? They've kept in fridge for like ages, like 1 month, days, months, and we are eating the same food, not even properly heating it up. Uh, and so these are the foods. The food which is tasteless, decomposed, spoiled food. So that's why nobody eats spoiled food, but sometimes we see unconsciously we eat spoiled food, right? So it's very important, spoiled foods make us lazy, tired, sluggish, and make more and more tamas. Again, it's not something this lifetime. It could be from many, many lifetimes. We have eaten this tamasic food, and that's how we made our consciousness. Right? Again, everyone is different. And remnants, right? So if the food is eaten by some animal, and we are eating that food, we see this like a dog goes and eats, and this guy also eats from the same plate. And this is the untouchable things. See, yes, this fact. Our Vedic scripture says if a animal is touching the food, that should be given to animal only, not for humans again. And with my own eyes, I've seen, practically I've seen, like literally I've seen like one person was sitting in front of me, and he has a pet. The pet went, and the pet was touching the food, and that guy was also eating. He's feeding with his own hands. He's eating with his own the food with his own hands. These are the food which make one tamasic. These habits make tamasic. Unclean food, unclean food, and the food which causes distress. These are the things which make a person tamasic. Okay, so now that we know the symptoms of rajasic, symptoms of tamasics when they go high, so we also learned like what we can do to lower this and at least stop this. Tamasic food at least you need to stop. One of the thing is meat. The meat products also one of the untouchable things we should avoid. And also living habits, go principle again will apply, right? There's so much content everywhere. If you are putting the content through YouTube, movies, or friends, or anything, right? So, if a person is fearful, if a person is timid and fearful, and we are associating with that person, and he's putting all those emotion into us, and we become like that, right? So, so those are the things. Again, one has to have good spiritual connection. One has to strengthen the consciousness mindset with the spiritual connection, with meditative practices, or more importantly, the bhakti, devotion unto the Lord, by which one can be in sattva guna, and at least transcend the sattva guna. Okay, so 7:16, we have time. I think we can complete the things I planned. If you have questions, we can do later. So these are the emotions Krishna talks about in 16th chapter. 16th chapter, Krishna titles as Devasura Sampatti Vibhaga Yoga. Deva Sampatti, Asura Sampatti. Deva means a divine person. Divine person. Asura Sampatti, like demonic person. Demonic person. So, how they behave, what are the emotions they carry. uh, so we can see the big list here. Like one is compassionate, peaceful, content, gratitude, forgiveness, humility. These are all we want, right? We teach our kids. We all want this. We want to be in the mode of goodness, right? Yeah, this is the thing we want to be, and these are things. Yeah, when you go to the 16th chapter, we'll go in detail there. But these are the emotions in the mode of passion, right? These are the emotions carry in a mode of ignorance, right? So confusion, laziness, delusion, fear, blind anger, madness, neglectful of our duties. We don't want to do our duties, carelessness, all those things, tamas, rajas and tamas. So these are the things. These are not bad, but yeah. Right. So for a person who is practicing spirituality, he wants to attain God realization. He want to attain moksha. Want to attain moksha this lifetime. Then it is for him. This is really important. He has to be sattvic as much as possible. Okay. So with that, we covered first two topics. We covered recognizing the modes, their supremacy when the modes go high. How can we identify ourselves when the modes go high? And we'll see this topic number 3, the death in any of this mode. If a person is leaving the body, right? So what happens? We'll see that. I'll ask someone to read this. Two shlokas at once.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृत्ते तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्मविदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tata pralinas tamasi Muda yonishu jayate. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom.
Thank you, Prabhu. These are the words spoken by Krishna, God Himself. God Himself. Right. So I know this is terrifying, but certain it's all science. It's a science. The science. We have not maybe we haven't learned before, but we can learn now what Krishna is saying. Right? That's why Bhagavad Gita is said like it's a manual for humanity. Right? The knowledge of Bhagavad Gita helps us to learn how to live in this world, and what is the right way to live in this world, and how can we make best use of this human body. Human body is given for a purpose, for a reason, for a purpose, right? So what Krishna is saying, we need to accept and wholeheartedly understand it, and not to panic, not to be afraid. And this is what Krishna says. Okay, now what Krishna spoke. When the mode of sattva guna increases, what are the symptoms? When the mode of passion increases, when the mode of ignorance increases, and a person is not even aware of any of this. Maybe he's aware, maybe he's not aware. Okay, and he's living a lifestyle, and he's dying at the time of death. What is his consciousness? That determines his next birth. Next birth. Okay, if a person is a mode of goodness, what Krishna is saying, Uttama Loka, he'll go to the Uttama Loka, right? So it may or may not be a devotee, right? It's not about a devotee. A bhakta who surrenders unto the Lord, takes shelter of the Lord, as Krishna promised, he'll attain spiritual world. Period. Okay? And a person who's eating good food, he may not be a devotee. Okay, he may not be a devotee, but he's a spiritualistic person. He's eating good sattvic food, and he's doing meditations, and from previous lifetimes also, like he has cultivated good habits, uh, and and like through our senses, he's doing all everything good, all sattvic. He lived a sattvic life. At the time of his death, his mindset, consciousness, if it is sattvic, Krishna is saying such a person will go to the higher planets where the pious people dwell. Hmm? Right? The realm of Brahma, Lord Brahma, or the realm of Janaloka, Tapaloka. There are different realms where the pious people are the people who are interested in self-realization, God realization. Such a person's such a place as one would go. Next lifetime, still human body, good higher planets. Okay, and this could be all. This could also be like in sixth chapter, Krishna says the same thing, right? So if a person is sattvic, maybe he'll get in this earthly planet, and he may get a family where all the family members are very much towards spirituality, are very much towards self-realization, God relation. Everybody is sattvic, right? So everybody is sattvic. So we see in this world like a grandparent is a musician. His entire tree is musicians. All are musicians, right? So why that happens, right? So it's all God's arrangement. Right? So something in a family, they're all are good people, all are sattvic people. They're all sattvic. They're not aggressive people, they're not tamasic people. They're all sattvic people. And the sattvic person, if he lives a sattvic life, in next lifetime he's put in a family where everybody is sattvic, and the family environment is so conducive to further progress. That is the point Krishna says here. Okay, next one. If a person lives a Rajasic life, eating all the Rajasic food, and putting all the Rajasic content in his mind consciousness, corrupting his mind consciousness in this lifetime or many lifetimes back, and such a person, too Rajasic, right? And we see some people leave the body, right? They are so angrily leave the body. So angrily leave the body, right? And with so much passionate desires, one would leave the body, right? We see that not in movies. Really, also people leave that because it is natural. Movies also show that, but yeah, these things happen. People are very passionately in the mode of high passion and passion levels. They leave the body. So what happens? Such a person will put in a it could be Earth, mostly Earth and earthly planets, where he's put in a family where everybody is like busy workers, right? There are Krishna is saying, I'm not saying, right? Karma sangeshu jayate. They're very much attached to work, attached to work. They're all like every day they're busy with work, and they're dharmic people. They're dharmic people like may or may not be, but mostly dharmic people. They're doing all good things, and they're earning money in a dharmic way, and they're enjoying karma. Artha means like earning money. Dharma means they're doing the duties in a dharmic way. Artha, right? Earning the possessions in a dharmic way, and karma means enjoying the possessions in a dharmic way, right? So Yeah, so his whole life is entangled. He continues in next life also. He continues same thing, right? So he's so much inclined in dharma or the kama only, fulfilling the desires. Whole what is the purpose of life? Fulfilling the desires, nothing else. Karma sangeshu jayate, right? So I want to take I want to tell one more point, but before that we'll go to tamas. Okay, so tamas. If a person is in tamas, okay, totally mad, arrogant, lives arrogant life, totally mad, and is eating tamasic food and living tamasic life and leaves a body is very important. The art of dying. So death, we don't know how we die, but it's we need to. Our Vedic scripture says that as a human being, we need to know the art of dying. Art of dying, not to be get scared, but these are Vedic science, right? Yeah. So moda yonishu jayate. If a person in the mode of tamas, high tamas levels, and he'll get a tamasic body. What is tamasic body? Tamasic body is a body where the body cannot gain any knowledge. The knowledge is clouded, right? The animal body, basically Krishna says animal body, moda janma, animal bodies. So many animal species, so many animal species. So you'll get one of the species, right? So in that species, what is he doing? There is no dharma for them. Yes, for the for animal species, they're also living beings. They have souls, but for them there is no dharma. There is no dharma. There is no ardha. They don't live a dharmic life. They don't earn possessions in dharmic way. They don't enjoy in a dharmic way. There are no rules and regulations for them, right? And there is no question of liberation, no moksha at all. So the purusharthas do not apply for this uh, tamasic. If a person attains a tamasic body, okay. So we'll answer two important questions. After that, I'll tell a short story and end the session. So how do I know which mode I'll be at the time of death? Nobody knows. But it based on how we live throughout our life. Throughout our life. From the age 0 to age 100. Right? Throughout our life, we don't know when death happens. But throughout our life, but what kind of lifestyle we live in. If it is tamasic or rajasic, sattvic, rasic or tamasic, we know. Now we know at least. So based on that, like our thought process, mindset, consciousness will be at the time of death. Okay, so we may not know, but it depends on how we live this lifetime, like throughout a life. Okay, so would a soul in an animal body be ever be delivered, or if a person attains a rajasic body or tamasic body, he will attain, will he ever shows interest towards god realization, self realization, or moksha? Yes. Okay. It's not like if a person attains a animal body, he will be animal forever. But again, if you have done punya karma, pious deeds, so it's also good for us to do some pious deeds. If you have done pious deeds in this lifetime or many, many lifetimes back, then God makes an arrangement for every individual. Every individual, every soul, every individual, God makes an arrangement, makes us towards Him, makes us, shows the path to attain moksha in this lifetime. He shows the path. But if a soul is not so inclined because of rajasic, tamasic levels, he leave it. It doesn't show interest. But if he's sattvic and past life impressions, then he will be shown the path. God shows the path to attain him. It's God's responsibility, by the way. Okay, so so one should not think like I'll be like this forever. No, God makes arrangement for each and every soul. Okay, from our heart, He speaks. Hmm? Through the environment, circumstances, He makes arrangement. We just need to look at it, gain the knowledge, and show walk in the path God is showing. Right, so then it is easy. Okay, and another, give me 5 minutes. I'll tell a nice story, and we'll end the session here because I was not telling the story from the past three sessions, and I want to do a story. So this is a story of in one of the Purana. So once Narada Muni goes to Lord Krishna and inquires, "Hey Krishna, why are you emphasizing so much on chanting your name, meditating on you, thinking about you, meditating on you, chanting your holy name? in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everywhere you're saying same thing. Manmana bhava mad bhakto. Always think about me and always chant my glories. Why is that so? Narada inquires Krishna. And Krishna says, okay, I'll tell you something, you just do it. Okay? And Krishna says, look at this worm, earthworm. Okay? Go to the earthworm, into that worm ears, chant my holy name. Narada goes and chants the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when Narada Muni chants this holy name of the Lord, this worm dies. This worm dies, immediately dies. Narada was shocked. He goes, Krishna says, Krishna, Krishna, I chanted your holy name, it died. What is this? And Krishna says, don't worry, I'll tell you one more thing, now do it. Okay, then Krishna says, go and chant, look at this butterfly. Krishna says, look at that butterfly. Go to that butterfly and chant my holy name again. Then Narada Muni goes and chants the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To his surprise, the butterfly also dies. Butterfly also dies. Then Narada Muni goes, Hey Krishna, what are you asking me to do? You are making me kill these beings. You might have a plan. You're not revealing. Then he says, yes, just do what I say. And now this time, you look at the deer. Is a deer? Yes, there is a deer. And go and chant my holy name in the ear of the deers. Yes, I'll do whatever you say, Krishna. And then Narada Muni goes and he says, he chants the holy name again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and the deer dies. Deer also dies. Then Narada Muni goes, rushes, Krishna, you are making me kill these poor animals. You are not revealing your plan. Tell me what's going on. That is, now look at the cow. Krishna says, look at the cow. And go and chant my holy name in the ear of the cow. Narada Muni was literally scared. I know you're gonna make me kill this cow. I don't want to kill the cow. Huh? Um, um, let me meet someone. Okay. No, I don't want to kill the cow. And Narada Muni Krishna says, okay, go and just chant my holy name. Just do what I say. Narada Muni goes and chants the holy name in the ears of the cow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, and to his surprise, the cow also dies. Cow also leaves the body. And Narada Muni was totally confused, and he goes and rushes Krishna. I'm doing what are you saying, and looks like I'm killing these animals. What is your plan? Tell me what's going on here. And Krishna says, now I'll tell you one thing. Okay, there is a small baby born to a king. Okay, he's born to a king. He's a noble king. He's a great soul. Okay, so to that boy, go and chant my holy name. And Narada Muni goes, uh, and he chants the holy name, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. And this baby boy, to his surprise, open the eyes. The boy starts speaking. He says, thank you, Narada Muni. I was this worm before, and you chanted holy name. I was this butterfly. You came and chanted holy. I was this deer. I was this cow. You came and chanted my the holy name of the Lord, and you have been delivering me. And now that you are in front of me, I got your association, and it's God's arrangement. He put me into this family. I'm sure I'll work towards moksha. He says thank you, and that ends the story. Okay, so just a recap of what we covered. So today we covered about the symptoms when the mode of passion increases. When the mode of passion increases, what are the symptoms? Okay, and what are the things we can do from our side to lower these symptoms of rajas, mode of passion, right? And also we looked at when the tamas increases, when the mode of tamas increases, what are the symptoms, what we can do from our side to lower the tamasic levels, right? And we also looked at the destination. If a person dies in the mode of satoguna, rajaguna, tamoguna, their next destinations, right? So And more importantly, the important point that even though one may be in Satoguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, any guna, if he gets a connection of a great soul or our good deeds, God makes arrangement. Krishna makes arrangement. He paves the path for us to attain Him. Okay. So Krishna continues this discussion in upcoming shlokas. We'll see what happens in the next lifetime. How if a person leaves the body in the mode of passion, does he continue the same thing? He says yes, but we'll see that in next session. Okay. So thank you all very much for attending the session. If you have any questions, we can take now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.